So what does the history of Michael Bisping's UFC career actually look like? Michael Bisping entered The Ultimate Fighter as the undefeated Cage Rage and Cage Warriors light heavyweight champion. He's one of the few Ultimate Fighter winners to win all of his bouts on the show, including the finale, via knockout or submission. He started his UFC career with knockout wins over Josh Haynes, Eric Red Schaefer, Elvis Sinisic, and a controversial decision over Matt Hamill, followed by a loss to Rashad Evans, sending Bisping down to middleweight for the rest of his career. Bisping's middleweight career started successfully as well. He knocked out Charles McCarthy and Jason Day and ended up defeating Chris Lieben. But at UFC 100, Michael Bisping suffered a loss that haunted the rest of his career. Coming off coaching the 9th season of The Ultimate Fighter, Dan Henderson knocked out Bisping at UFC 100. It was the first stoppage loss of his professional career. He rebounded with a knockout over Dennis Kang, but slipped again against Wanderlei Silva. What followed looked to be the prime of his competitive career. Bisping beat Dan Miller, Yoshihiro Akiyama, Jorge Rivera, and Jason Miller with another Ultimate Fighter coaching slot mixed in. His fight with then-top contender Chael Sonnen was one that many thought he won. A decision over Brian Stann put him back on track for title contention, only to suffer his second brutal KO loss, this time to Vitor Belfort. The idea of Michael Bisping, UFC title contender, seemed suddenly very remote. He beat Alan Belcher in an ugly fight, but lost to former Strikeforce fighter Tim Kennedy. He beat Kung Lee handily, but lost to Luke Rockhold decisively. Well, wins over C.B. Dalloway and Talis Leites were nice, but he opened as an underdog to Anderson Silva, and many expected him to lose again, but he didn't. And when he stepped in for Chris Weidman to rematch Luke Rockhold for the middleweight title on short notice, everyone expected him to lose again. But he didn't. Bisping earned a win back against his biggest loss via gritty split decision over Dan Henderson to defend his title. And he would go on to lose his belt to welterweight legend George St. Pierre via rear naked choke. Bisping then took a short notice fight against rising star Kelvin Gastelum in a fight that he lost by knockout. Then, after teasing a return for months on May 28th, he announced his retirement. Obviously, I've teased this for a long time now. I might fight again, I might not, Bisping said. Unfortunately, it's not a fight I'm announcing. I'm going to announce my official retirement from mixed martial arts. Bisping holds the record for most UFC wins and most UFC fights, retiring with a record of 30 wins and 9 losses. Michael Bisping, thank you for everything.